Where do you work?
I work at the State Bank of Southwest Missouri.
What's it like to work there?
Oh, I love it. The people there, I'm the new kid on the block. I've been there 16 years, and the other senior officers have been there all longer than I have, up to the bank's about 30 years old. Some of the junior officers have been there for about 8 years, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful place to work.
Describe how you got to this job and what all it took.
Years ago, I started off as a teller at a bank. I worked for a summer, and I went back to school, then came back. And then when I was working at a small bank, I saw an opening for a collection agent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I worked that for about 6 months. And then a credit analyst position opened up. And then I did some branch manager work where I worked with tellers and managed over them. I also became assistant branch manager. I work with a branch manager on deposits and helping him with loans, car loans, and real estate loans. And then there was another broker, another representative that worked at the bank, and I liked that part of the. I've always liked working with stocks and bonds, and so I asked if I could help, and the other rep said yes, and so he first handed me some very low level clients, and I began to learn with that, and then that just sprang up over about 4 years, and then that representative left the bank, and I became the senior rep, and so just began handling that type. So I transitioned out of loans that I'd done for 25 years until about 2004. I started doing stocks and bonds, and then now I do about 75% of my work is stocks and bonds, and 25% of my work is still doing real estate loans and car loans.
What made you choose State Bank?
We were living in North Carolina, and I had the choice to work for a small bank here in town, a large bank, and I'd worked in a very large bank, and it's just a different atmosphere. To get things done, you talk to people you've never met. Sometimes you can't get things done in a timely manner. So I decided in Oklahoma City, where I worked for a small bank, so I understood the differences between the smaller and the larger banks. When I had the option of going to work for a small bank here in Springfield or a large bank, I chose the small bank, and I think it was absolutely the best decision.
How does your job help your family other than just the income? How does it help your attitude?
Because I enjoy very much the place I work when I come home, because I've had a good day at work, that can't help but rub off on just being at home with the family. The people I work with are wonderful. There's no politics at work, so we all work very well together. So in that aspect, if that comes home, then that just makes, I think, the family life stronger.
What are the major points of interest that your bank has to offer customers who walk in or call in?
We have on the deposit side, you have your regular free checking account. Basically, there's no service charges. Then you have your interest bearing checking, where there's, I think, a minimum of, you have to have at least $1,000 in there. Then you have what's called a money market account, where you're limited to 3 checks a month on that account. That earns just a slightly higher interest rate. And then you have a savings account, where it just acts kind of, there's no checks on savings accounts, just kind of acts as kind of typically your emergency fund, and it earns about the same interest rate that a money market would earn. On the loan side, we offer car loans, real estate loans. If you're buying a house, or if you want to do a construction loan to build a house, or if you want to remodel or do a debt consolidation loan, we have lines of credit that you can put on your house. And those, and of course, then you have my services, investment services, where you talk about estate planning, or financial planning, or retirement planning, or insurance planning, and and those are really kind of the areas of the bank that we can offer to customers.